Hey there, welcome to Dwayne's Roses, or welcome back if you've returned. This time I talk about Claire Austin, the English rose, and how I have used her as a seed parent. There is so much that we love about Claire Austin, especially her form, also the fact that she has fragrance and can pass it on to offspring. But I wish I could grow her as a climber. Here in the cold, unfortunately, she dies back to the ground, but at least with enough snow protection, she will grow back each year. She stays kind of a small to mid-sized shrub since she regrows each year, but she does manage to maintain her vigor enough to come back and let me work with her, which I am very pleased with. So I decided one year to make a concerted effort with several different pollens onto Claire Austin just to see what I could come up with, and that's what I'd like to share with you here on this video. For the first pollen, I chose Chinook Sunrise, a Canadian rose. One reason is it had different colors in the bloom, and I was hoping to at least have the genetic possibilities for different colors moving forward with the seedlings. Also, it has some fragrance, which is not always normal in a cold hardy rose, so I was pleased to give it a shot with pollen from Chinook Sunrise, just to see what I could come up with in a cross with this with Claire Austin. The other I chose was Olivia Rose Austin, mainly because she refused to work for me as a seed parent, and so far the efforts that I made with her pollen onto cold hardy ones as seed parents had not been productive, so I decided to take her pollen and put it with Claire Austin to see if I could come up with a seed parent, mainly because Olivia Rose Austin is such an incredible rose, and I wanted to see if she would pass on some of those virtues that I love so much. Okay, the first results from that year I'll share here is Sweet Love. You can see the different color combinations I was hoping to get, got all in one bloom. The fragrance is, I would say, about a medium tea fragrance with a fruity aspect to it, sometimes a bit stronger, sometimes fading with age, but it does have a wonderful fragrance to go with such a glorious bloom. I have been very pleased at how quickly it repeats its bloom. As you can see, butterflies are attracted to this one, which is always a bonus. So this one is making a beautiful display right beside our walk to our seating area, and we've been very pleased with it. Just to the left of Sweet Love is Love's Glow. This one has an even stronger fragrance, a glorious fruity tea fragrance that is almost intoxicating to me. I absolutely love it. Seems to go with the color of the blooms. They start a deep chalice, become deep cupped, and then open up to a shallow open cup, and I have just loved this bloom. Personally, I love it when it's still a chalice shape, but the coloring throughout as it goes from lighter to or darker to lighter has been spectacular. The fragrance holds throughout the life of the bloom, and as you can see, bees very much love this rose. I was very glad to get a pink rose that we would love so much. It starts just below a mid-pink and fades to a palest of pinks as it ages, and it has such a delicate beauty. It starts very deeply cupped, and it does remain cupped throughout its lifespan, filled with numerous petals, but when it opens up just the most amount, you can sometimes see the stamens just inside the center of the bloom, but it blooms incredibly freely. This rose was not without bloom all summer long, and it has been very pleasing at the end of the walkway in our garden. It has a beautiful old rose fragrance, I would say normally about medium strength or sometimes between medium and strong. Okay, whether we ought to or not, this is our absolute favorite so far of our seedlings that I have bred. Love's Light just seems to have it all. The coloring is impossible to capture the effect, so you need to see this one in person and watch the light play through the petals. It almost seems to glow so many times, very luminescent. The fragrance is incredibly strong, incredibly complex, and absolutely wonderful, certainly befitting of such a beautiful rose. This one grows to be a beautiful, shapely, mid-sized shrub. Perhaps in warmer climates it'll become a larger shrub, but it repeats its bloom very well. The blooms are somewhere between medium and large-sized, depending, of course, on how you feed it and how you prune it. But so far, this has exceeded our expectations way above and beyond measure. Mazama Morning. This one I was a little slower to include in those that I wished to sell, but the performance of this rose year after year has been absolutely eye-catching in a border. Even looking out the window from the house into the garden, it catches my eye all the time. Always in bloom, a beautiful color. The color shading when it starts to open is darker, fading to lighter, and it seems to capture every color shade of the sunrise here in the morning, hence the name Mazama Morning. Has a wonderful tea fragrance as well, so I hope you enjoy it. I do want to thank you for taking the time to watch. I hope you've enjoyed it. If so, please give it a thumbs up. If you enjoy this, please subscribe.